Hello there. It's quite clear for the people to see that Nicola Sturgeon and the SNP have blown it by even proposing to extend pandemic measures for another 6 months, whilst England walks into freedom. How can the SNP retain any credibility and ask the people of Scotland to vote for Nicola Sturgeon to be in charge of an independent Scotland if she's going to keep them under pandemic restrictions for another 6 months, maybe until September? Then who knows, will a spate of sneezing have her extend them again? So while those in England return to pre-pandemic normality, those in Scotland will still have the authorities dictating that people wear masks and carry their health passes around with them. But I suppose that when you've got a devolved administration, you've got to justify the expense somehow. However, as I pointed out in a video earlier today, this is what happens when you volunteer to cede your own sovereign rights to the state for an emergency period. The powers that be are very reluctant to return them to you. And Nicola Sturgeon in Scotland and Mark Drakeford in Wales are showing those very tyrannical tendencies. They have become almost drunk on power and the desire to wield it for their own ends, not to wield them for the people they are meant to serve. Sorry, Nicola, but each day you keep twisting the screws on the people of Scotland is another day where the Scots will be able to gaze across at England, wishing they didn't have an assembly in Holyrood holding them back. I wonder how many pubs, for example, will be putting up Vote SNP posters in their windows come the next election, after being nearly permanently put out of business, while pubs in England thrive as life goes back to normal. Actually, there may be very few functioning pubs left by this coming May for the local elections. And now I hear that the SNP are trying to get themselves referendum ready as a party to go for an Indie Ref too, just as Scots voters start looking longingly over the border at a restrictionless England. But one thing Sturgeon's extension of restrictions will do is keep those pesky visitors from England away. So I wonder what the tourism industry in Scotland will be thinking right now. Whether you be punter or business owner, who's going to take a bet on whether or not the SNP is going to muck about with the rules further in a few weeks or months' time? How many bookings will be lost and how many businesses will close their doors for the last time? But English resorts will be looking a very safe bet for a booking over the summer, and many people in Scotland may well be planning that as their summer break destination. Now maybe the SNP is looking to see if they can make their health pass a permanent feature of their culture and economy, purely on political grounds to drive yet another wedge between Scotland and the rest of the UK. I wonder how the people who live in Scotland would feel about that. And it would make it harder to attract people to visit, live or work in Scotland from south of the border, but make it very attractive to move out of Scotland and into England. Now, it used to be safe to vote for the SNP when there was no prospect of them gaining power. But now they've got into power and have retained it for 14 years, people can see what a mess they've made of it. They've damaged Scotland, but they are also damaging themselves in the process. And this latest decision on extending restrictions will only make that worse. Now, I wonder if Alex Salmond and his Alba party will be standing against the SNP this coming May. So what's your opinion on Scotland under the SNP restrictions cosh for another 6 months? Please like and comment below. Please subscribe and like this video, buy a mug and support me on Patreon or PayPal, and thank you for watching.